Hi guys, how's everyone doing? Sorry I've been away for a little while. I've been sorting out different bits and pieces of videos and I've just come back from Nice and Grasse I went to again. So lovely. But anyway, I'm back. I'm doing a review for you today. I'm reviewing Decadence by Marc Jacobs. I smelt this recently on a friend. First time I'd ever smelled it. I'd never picked it up in a shop before and it smelled great on her, so I thought I'm going to try and get a sample, which I did. And I also got a sample of the newer one actually. This one came out in 2015 and the newer one, which is called Divine Decadence. Yes, there is a flanker already, believe it or not. That came out this year, so yeah, I really like this. I'm considering buying it actually. Yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, this one, as you can imagine, Decadence is the name. It's quite a rich, opulent fragrance. And I'll read you the notes and see if you can notice something about the notes. So the top notes are iris, plum and saffron. The heart notes are Bulgarian rose, sambac jasmine and orris. So it's got iris and orris in it. I mean, they both come from the same thing. They're both a powdery makeup kind of smell. Not too sure the differences actually. I've never really looked into it. I would presume that iris would be the flower and orris is the root, but if anyone knows, maybe comment below. And then the base notes are vetiver, amber and papyrus. So there's a few interesting things in there, but if you notice, there are no citruses in this fragrance, which is very refreshing from, you know, a designer fragrance, I think. There's nothing in this that freshens or lightens it up in any way, so it's quite a heavy composition. So if you're not into heavy stuff, be wary of it, but still try it out. I mean, it's different from most Marc Jacobs fragrances that I've tried. I've tried all of the others, Honey, Dot, Daisy and its 50 sisters, and they're all quite easy to get along with. This one, while still not crazy scary, it's definitely, I would say, the boldest one in the Marc Jacobs collection so far, I think. So let me spray it on my hand. I was going to tell you, when my friend wore this and I smelled it on her, I didn't expect her to say that it was this. On her, it smelt to me almost like a dry, smoky incense smell, but it smells different on me. I don't know. Maybe I was drunk. I don't know. But we were at a festival, so what I'm going to say about this one is, when you first spray this on, you are right into the fragrance straight away. You're right in there, kind of like watching a movie from halfway through. You're right in the thick of the plot. It doesn't feel like there's an opening as such. It doesn't open with anything in particular. You're just right into the meat of the fragrance immediately, and it's, here I am and this is what I'm going to be for a while, and I do appreciate that. It doesn't need any citruses to lighten it up. It's good how it is already. And it's got a couple of character tones going on. You've got, first of all, a greenery. You've got, you know, grassy vetiver in there, but you've got papyrus in there, and that gives this fragrance a slight dry tone in the mix of everything else, a dry green tone. So it feels oriental, it also feels green at the same time. And the other thing that I get from this is it's almost touching on gourmand a little bit, so there's a sweetness coming from somewhere that I have no idea where. It's possibly the iris, but iris I don't think is overly sweet. It's more powdery and buttery than anything else. So it feels like those three things at once. An oriental that is green with a touch of gourmand that isn't vanilla. So it's quite confusing, but it's very deep, it's very rich, and it smells slightly exotic to me. It feels like somewhere in there, when you smell it from further away you notice it more. It feels like how it smelled on my friend from far away, and when it dries a bit, it feels like there's almost a dry incense smoke going on in there, or something a little tiny bit charred, like a charred smokiness, which is making it smell so exotic and interesting. It's really, really good in that way. That's why I really like it. It's yeah, very, very daring, I would say, for a Marc Jacobs fragrance, when he normally goes for the floral, sweetie kind of stuff. So, ooh, aeroplane. So I'm loving that part of it. It's a very solid fragrance. It's very whack. It's very bold. and definitely makes me feel of more nighttime than day, I would say. I think it could be overpowering if you put too much on, or if you oversprayed it too much. Note to self, Tom, don't do that if you ever buy it. But overall, yeah, like I said, it's a really good solid fragrance. It's got a lot of interesting tones going on, and it's not what I expected at all from Marc Jacobs, so kudos to you. I have got the other one, like I said. It's very different, I think. Very different. So it goes through, when it starts to dry, it holds on to that kind of smokiness, but the sweetness comes forward a bit. And I think if the gourmand was a little bit less in it, it would be way better, but that's just my personal opinion. If you like things with a sweet tinge, edge, then yeah, this one's going to be really good if you like that kind of thing. I like how the greenery is incorporated in, and the packaging is all very dark green, and it's just a lovely colour, everything. The bottle is huge, by the way. I picked it up in the shop, and it's literally like a bag. So there's a lot of packaging going on there, but it's great. So anyway, yeah, when it's in its wet stages, it projects really well. It stays in the air. It's got a good performance, but it does dry down, I would say, quite quickly, probably 2 hours, and then you're into the kind of subtle wafts of it. You just get a waft of something a bit sensual, and you do get that woodiness that's, I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'm guessing it's the vetiver, because vetiver's like a dry, grassy smell. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one to describe, but it's really, really nice. The dry down sees it come a lot closer to the skin. It feels like when it's wet that it's going to be a beast forever, but it does actually calm down to a much more manageable level. And it doesn't change massively. Like I said, it kind of just gets a little bit sweeter. So if you like it when it's wet, there's no hidden surprises when it's dry, basically. And it's going to be a more sniff closer to the neck kind of fragrance. That's what it's like on me anyway. I've worn it 3 times now, and it's not disappeared off my wrist, but it's become quite faint quite quickly. But it's nice enough the wet stages are nice enough to not me worry about that personally. But yeah, I would say try it. I mean, I've used it from this kind of vial. I'm sure if you gave it a few good wallops of a spray, it's probably gonna perform a lot better. So that's kind of it. That's my review of Marc Jacobs Decadence. Really great wet stages. Dry stages are still lovely too, just not as voluptuous, I would say. Wrong word to use to describe a fragrance, but never mind. Yeah, anyway, I'm reviewing this for Beauty Spin, this sample. If you want to go and see it or buy it, you can head on over there. It's beautyspin.co.uk or .com. I'll put the links below. Anyway, much more know, click my logo to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for another review. Goodbye!